cover-up, confessions, and a failure of leadership, highlighted in the scathing Atlanta Public Schools cheating report.
The report's findings are troubling.
New at 6, the concerns over the business community's role and the blame city leaders are placing for the problems.
This is probably one of the greatest tragedies to affect this city in modern history.
Good evening. I'm Monica Pearson.
And I'm John Bachman, in for Justin Farmer. Investigators plan to release the full report within the hour. It found 178 teachers and principals in the Atlanta public school system cheated. 82 confessed to the misconduct. The cheating took place at 44 of the district's more than 100 schools.
We have a team of reporters covering every angle of this report and its impact. Channel 2's Lori Geary begins our live Team 2 coverage with new criticism for Superintendent Beverly Hall.
That's right, Monica. First off, we will know a lot more details about this report when the governor's office releases the 800 pages of full reports downstairs on the first floor. Now, already some are calling for former Atlanta Superintendent Dr. Beverly Hall to give up her national awards.
There will be consequences.
At this point, it's unclear what those consequences could be for the almost 200 Atlanta public school educators caught cheating on standardized tests.
Many of those cases could lead to criminal prosecutions.
The numbers just released are shocking for a school system known nationally for student achievement. Investigators found cheating at 44 of the 56 schools examined. 38 principals were found to be responsible for or directly involved in cheating.
The report's findings are troubling.
The report says 178 teachers and principals cheated. 82 confessed. 6 principals pled the fifth, refusing to answer questions. DO would not give specifics on former Superintendent Dr. Beverly Hall's role, if any, in the cheating scandal. Republican Representative Ed Lindsay represents parts of Buckhead.
Dr. Hall is part of our history, and I am very happy that the prosecutors will be looking very hard at this.
In 2009, the same year investigators found the widespread cheating, Hall was named National Superintendent of the Year.
I'm thinking that her National Superintendent of the Year award, needs to be, I wouldn't mind if she gave that back.
I just got a response from the American Association of School Administrators, the spokesperson telling me that Dr. Hall will not have to relinquish her award as National Superintendent of the Year. Clearly now, though, there are skeptics who say she doesn't deserve it, that she got it under false pretenses. Reporting live from the state capitol, Lori Geary, Channel 2 Action News.
Lori, thank you. Now, soon after the governor's remarks, one state leader questioned the role of the business community in supporting former Superintendent Beverly Hall during the cheating investigation. New at 6, Channel 2's Manuel Bojorquez is live with more on the specific actions the lawmaker is citing.
Well, Monica, as you saw in Lori Geary's report, State Senator Vincent Fort has been outspoken on this matter. He once again today pointed to a memo that was written as the cheating scandal emerged. It was written by Sam Williams, the president of the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce.
The Sam Williams memo, email, proves that.
State Senator Vincent Fort believes the business community's ties to former Superintendent Beverly Hall clouded the truth, since a panel of community and business leaders reported no organized cheating last year, unlike the findings released today.
And that's why, the business community really needs to rethink their involvement.
He points to one memo in particular from Sam Williams, president of the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce, written as a scandal emerged. Williams wrote the chamber and the Atlanta Education Fund met with then Superintendent Beverly Hall and then School Board Chair LaShondra Butler-Burks. William then outlined how the board would introduce a resolution requesting an independent investigation and create a blue ribbon panel to guide it. He then named those who would be on the blue ribbon panel, and at the end wrote, "We will let the facts from this investigation guide us in our support of Dr. Hall and the next steps the Atlanta public school system needs to take." Critics said it was too much involvement from a business community eager to protect the reputations of the city and its schools.
These children are trapped, and we've got to fix this problem.
Sam Williams sat down with Channel 2 Action News before the cheating report was released. Last month, he discussed the potential impact.
We've not lost any companies because of it. We've had companies that were interested in moving here that say, explain this to us. We've read things about this in the national press. What's going on?
And I tried all day to see if Mr. Williams would be available for a comment on the recent findings. His office told me that he was not there today and therefore would not be available. Last year, his office defended that memo by saying it was meant merely to be a status update on the investigation for members of the chamber. We're live in Midtown Atlanta. I'm Manuel Bajorquez, Channel 2 Action News.
Now, the state investigation cost nearly $2 million. About 50 GBI agents questioned teachers and administrators. The governor's team of special investigators conducted about 2,000 interviews as part of the probe.
Scores of teachers and principals caught up in the cheating scandal could lose their jobs. Interim school superintendent Errol Davis says even those who did not break the law violated the public trust. He said they betrayed students and will be held accountable.
This angers us all. It is hard for us to quantify and often express that anger. But as Ms. Muhammad said, these people are not going to be put in front of children again.
Channel 2's Tom Regan tried to get a direct comment from Dr. Beverly Hall at her Buckhead home, but there was no one answering the door. A neighbor says he has not seen the former superintendent in nearly a week.
Some Atlanta political leaders call the findings in the cheating report a great tragedy for the city. New at 6, Channel 2's Richard Elliott is live outside Atlanta City Hall, where he found out whom city leaders blame.
And Monica, I had a long talk with some of the mayor's staff this afternoon. They tell me that Mayor Kasim Reed wants to comment on this report, probably will later in the week, but because of a scheduling conflict, he just issued a written statement today. But other city leaders, they are talking, and let me tell you, they are not happy about this.
This is probably one of the greatest tragedies to affect this city in modern history.
Atlanta City Council member Michael Julian Bond is angry over the findings of this cheating report, and he lays blame squarely on the shoulders of now ex-superintendent Dr. Beverly Hall.
There has obviously been a culture there in APS that is only about presenting a false good face to the rest of the world and not being focused on educating the children.
In a written statement, Atlanta Mayor Kasim Reed said this is, quote, a dark day for the Atlanta public school system, and that the report, quote, confirms our worst fears. He also blamed Dr. Hall and her staff, quote, there's no question a complete failure of leadership hurt thousands of children, unquote.
And I hope that, that only the guilty are prosecuted.
City Council member C.T. Martin told me he worries how this report reflects on the good teachers and students in APS.
This is regrettable that it's a reflection on our students and the many good teachers that we have in the Atlanta public school system.
And Council member Kwanzaa Hall, a former school board member, said it's time to put the report behind us and begin moving forward again.
But all in all, we've got to just keep on moving. We've got to pick up the pieces. We have some great people in the city that we can count on. We need to all kind of double our efforts and get back engaged in the school system.
Now, we did try to talk with other city council members as well. Some of them, many of them did not want to comment on this report just yet, but one told me off camera that they consider this report just one big mess. We're live in downtown Atlanta. Richard Elliott, Channel 2 Action News.
We've been covering the cheating investigation for more than a year. On March 11th, 2010, the head of the governor's Office of Student Accountability told Channel 2 Action News the state was investigating whether adults, not students, changed answers. August 5th last year, former Superintendent Dr. Beverly Hall promised to get answers. On October 15th, former Georgia Governor Sonny Perdue ordered the GBI to get to the bottom of the scandal. We found investigators at the school that day.
I'm looking for the GBI agents who came here a little while ago.
Then on June 30th of this year, lawyers delivered results of the investigation to the state capitol.
Criminal charges could be ahead for some of the cheaters. Channel 2 investigative reporter Aaron Diamond has why one Emory professor is convinced charges are likely.
You can go to jail.
That's where Emory University ethics professor Edward Queen predicts many of those involved in the Atlanta Public Schools CRCT cheating scandal might end up.
I would not be surprised if many of these resulted in indictments.
And while state investigators still haven't yet released their full report that lists APS educators involved in illegally altering student answer sheets to boost scores, we do know more than 80 have already confessed.
The question is whether there'll be some plea bargains, in order to see if they're higher-ups who are to be held accountable.
The decision to charge any APS employees with falsifying public documents, a felony in Georgia, is now up to the Fulton, DeKalb, and Douglas County District Attorneys, presumably areas where those educators live or lived and may have committed those crimes. In a statement, Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard told Channel 2 Action News a senior member of his staff will begin a thorough review of this case to determine what role our office will play in taking action on this report. Once the review is completed, we will make an announcement at that time. And a spokesperson for DeKalb County District Attorney Robert James told us, I think they just want to review the entire report before commenting. But no timeline yet, a lot for prosecutors to sort out first, given the scandal's scope.
That was Aaron Diamond reporting. Douglas County District Attorney David McDade told Aaron that he hasn't seen the full report and cannot comment until he does.
Back in May, former Superintendent Beverly Hall seemed to sense the report's scathing results in her farewell address.
I expect the investigation to draw some troubling, some alarming conclusions.
Recently, Atlanta City Councilman H. Lamar Willis said he would like to see the school board take action against Hall, including taking away the financial incentives she received for high test scores. More details on those incentives. They amounted to hundreds of thousands of dollars. In the 2001-2002 school year, Hall received just more than $30,000 in bonuses. During her best year, 2007 to 2008, she walked away with an $82,000 bonus. In all, Dr. Hall made more than $580,000 in bonuses during her tenure at Atlanta Public Schools.
We talked to parents of Atlanta Public School students who say they are furious about the findings. They told us the teachers and administrators involved cheated their students out of honest evaluations.
A lot of people need to be arrested. A lot of people, it's not no fines. I think people need to go to jail. I think people really need to pay for what they have done to these poor kids and parents who think they did well on these test scores.
Parents told us they think it will be a long time before they can trust APS. They say they believe more parents will choose to put their children in private schools and other districts. Go to WSB-TV.com for continuing coverage of the cheating report. You'll find raw video from Governor Nathan Deal's news conference, plus a look back at the history of the investigation.